being your own boss. Now, this is something that maybe isn't for everyone, but for you, Camilla, it is, because you are highly unemployable, as we've already established. But in your opinion, what really is the truth behind being your own boss? Maybe some advantages, a couple of disadvantages, just the Ainsworth take.
I would say, so going off your question first, is it for everyone? Definitely not, because you've got to be able to be in high pressure scenarios all the time. You're constantly in a state of firefighting. But if you love that, then great. I'm reading a book at the minute, actually. It's called Fall in Love with the Problems, Not the Solutions. And it's so good. So I would say the advantages of being your own boss are that you can manage your own time. You can manage your own diary. If you are very creative and you almost don't follow the herd and you've got ideas, I think you're more suited to being your own boss. So you're almost living your authentic truth by being, your own boss. So I think those are the obvious advantages of being your own boss.
Being able to be late all the time.
Yes, I am always late. I'm a time optimist, Jake. I'm not late. I think I can fit more into my time than I can because I'm optimistic. That's what it is. Someone said to me though once, they were like, late people, basically they just think that their time's more important than other people's. And I was like, oh my God, I hope people...
You do give me that vibe.
Really?
Yeah,
I really hope I don't though, because I genuinely don't think my time is more important. I just genuinely think I can go to the car wash, have my car clean, come back in 3 minutes. I genuinely believe that. But yeah, you can be late and no one bollocks you. Can I swear? Just did. You can be late, you can be on your time. If you've got commitments, like you've got kids or whatever, I think it's really good because obviously you can be more flexible and you can be more present in some areas. And then being your own boss, disadvantages, I mean, when it comes to accountancy, all of that stuff, like sick days, if you're off sick, you're not getting paid. If you're ill, you're basically screwed because no one's going to do the work for you when you're not doing it. And I also think that being your own boss, you struggle with delegation more than you do in a job. Me personally, I like to do everything myself because I'm a control freak, but I'm working on it. So I'd say they are the obvious advantages and disadvantages from my perspective, the Ainsworth perspective, as you said, as you coined.
Good memory. Coined. Yeah, I realised that everyone, you use the term as your last name. It's like a thing. I saw that you've got Dadsworth.
Oh yeah, that's all the family members. Yes, Dadsworth, Neilsworth, we say Neilsworth, Mumsworth, Madsworth, and I was Millsworth. Obviously, when I was Millie back in the formative years. But yeah, I'm lucky with the family unit. I think because they're very driven.
So when being your own boss, it's helpful to have that support as well, right?
Definitely. The support network is important. And that's why I think a lot of successful entrepreneurs, to be fair, have come from no one that's in the family that have been doing business, which I think that's almost 10 times more credible than if you have come from at least one family member having, a little bit of business experience.
Yeah, maybe giving you a step up.
I definitely think I've had a step up because my dad's been in business, not always successful business. He's failed so many times, but obviously I've been there from young to vicariously watch that. Mm-hmm. And I, in some respect, haven't had to fail at things because he did it for me that I've been a human sponge and, modeled what I do based on some of his decisions that didn't always work out correctly.
That's useful. I've never looked at it that way.
Yeah, new perspective for you there.
Now I need your advice on something.
Oh.
Because this is actually a question that, I struggle with. Yeah. And that's work-life balance.
Yeah.
See, when I look at your Instagram, you seem to be away a lot. You seem to be not doing that much work. Living.
Yes.
Me, on the other hand, I'm on a computer every second I'm awake.
Yeah.
Now,
the maths isn't mathing.
It's not math. It's not mathing because you're still very successful, and it looks like you're also having a good time.
Yeah.
So, what how have you learned and shaped that work-life balance to
Yeah.
work for you?
Yeah.
And what kind of tips do you have if someone's maybe struggling a little bit with a work-life balance?
Yeah.
No names.
No names. I have been there with the work-life balance struggle, and I've fallen victim in the past to hustle culture. You know, I'm working in between my coffee run, all of that narrative. I've done that. I've done the 3 a.m.s. I've done, the skipping meals so that you can prioritize work. Relationships have struggled and ended because of the work-life balance or lack of. But I think a major turning point for me was when I had that switch up of, divide the cake accordingly, follow the money, and do the things that are going to actually make the most progress. So I was doing a lot in the past of like the things that weren't bringing in money, like the admin, all of that stuff. And then I thought to myself, right, let me try and delegate that stuff so that I have more time to actually do the things that are going to bring me in. Yeah, the high value tasks that are going to bring me in the money. And then I think I had a few smart years of, just literally knuckling down and grinding that meant that I had a hard time then to have an easier time now. So I think I'm on the other side of the hard work that I put in. So I obviously was laying the foundations in my early 20s. And now I have actually restructured the business in that instead of working with clients on a retainer basis, I will reduce my retainer and then I'll say, I want a percentage of the profits. So whenever they're earning money for the work that I've done, even when I'm not working with them, I'm benefiting, but I'm not doing any work anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So,
Yeah, you don't want to tie yourself down to a single fee when you're making other people money.
exactly. And they are making money. They're continuing to do the work based on, us working together.
The foundation you've given them.
Yeah. And then I'm still benefiting from the work that we did. But I obviously am getting a percentage of whatever sales they're making, but I'm not actually having to be as hands-on. So that's the way that I've pivoted my business model, which actually gives me a lot more time freedom, but within the realms of earning the same amount of money, if not more. So that's been really transformational for me. And I think sometimes when you've been working in a business for maybe a long period of time or a short period of time and things are going good, but sometimes you're so far in the business that you don't have time to work on it and you don't look at things from a fresh eye perspective and think, how could I improve that? And, the structures. So for me, I was working loads, like literally hands-on with clients all the time. And then I thought I could take that immediate pay cut in that they pay me less retainer, but then I take a percentage so that, eventually when they start making money and the fruit of my work starts to pay off, then it will eventually pay off for me. And now is the time. So what you're seeing on Instagram is me getting my payment, let's say, for the hard years,
Yeah.
But you're only
Makes
at this
sense.
start of the journey, so you've not seen the hustle culture that came before. You probably would have unfollowed me, to be honest. I was muted by a lot of people because I was literally like 3 a.m. This, everything was documented as well.
Yeah, I've just caught the last year, which it's looked like a wild ride.
Yeah,
of,
it has been, but it's eclectic. It's like business, it's traveling. But when I'm traveling or I'm abroad, I've always got my laptop. I'm always on hand for clients. So that's the thing that people don't see as well, because I don't want to push that down people's throats anymore. Because I think I did people a disservice on Instagram back when I used to do that, because people used to compare themselves. And I don't think that that's very responsible. I think it's good to actually promote balance and not the hustle culture that I was doing formerly. So, but maybe I need to bring back a little bit of it. If you think I'm lazy, God.
It's a good way to end, actually, that you're trying to reflect balance to a question about work-life balance. And bringing it back to bosses, what do you believe makes a good boss? What do you think makes a bad boss? I know you mentioned that you've kind of delegated some aspects of your business.
Yeah.
Do people that are like helping you with that, do they think you're amazing? Are they like, oh my God, who is this woman?
Yeah.
Who does she think she is? Why is she wearing pink heels?
You can't see that on the film, can you? But they are bright pink.
I'll make sure everyone knows.
Okay,
anyway.
good. I think what makes a good boss is communication, and that, transpires to all walks of life. Communication is key. And being open to the fact that other people are better at things than you. In anything that I've done, if I've needed to outsource, delegate, I've always hired or used freelancers that I genuinely think are smarter, more talented, more creative, more efficient than I. And I've never questioned their abilities. So I think as a boss, it's so important to do that, to employ better people than you and to acknowledge daily that they're better than you, because then they'll be, positively reinforced instead of always being over their shoulder, tapping up, like, what are you doing there? Like, do you think
management?
It's just ridiculous. And then I think traits of a bad boss are, micromanagement, second guessing, not communicating, in that if you've got a problem with someone, you'll maybe, go take it home with you and like bitch about that person to your family or whatever. You need to squash it there and then, because you can be mistaken in an office scenario. I think if you have an opinion of someone, you don't realize how much that energy actually rocks off the rest of the office. Like, if you're having a bad day, like the whole vibe of the office, or you think something about someone, like that actually manifests in the whole room. So you've got to squash it there and then. And I think bad bosses like ruminate with the problem as opposed to squashing it. And yeah, I've actually not really had that many bosses, so it's difficult to.
Me neither.
I worked in TK Maxx on Market Street, actually, and
When you were at uni?
yes, to try and survive at the time, and that, to be fair, was a good boss. Yeah, I did absolutely nothing. You just used to talk all day.
Does not surprise me at
No.
all. So anyway, that's Camilla's spiel on being your own boss, good bosses, bad bosses, balance, so on and so on. And that brings us to the end of the topic. The next topic will be topic 3, where we'll be discussing marketing.